Head coach Mike McCarthy has overstayed his welcome with the Dallas Cowboys, and despite Jerry coming out and saying that he's not going to make any changes to the coaching staff, he is forcing his hand. Cowboy fans have had enough. They have had enough of Jerry Jones. They have had enough of Mike McCarthy, and they are starting to turn on this franchise. So I'll break that down and much more in this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, everybody, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down the loss yesterday. Of course, I didn't want to give my immediate thoughts because I was just too frustrated, man. This team doesn't fail to disappoint us every single Sunday. Even on the bye week, they manage to disappoint us with the news that comes out. But before we get into the video, I want to thank you all for the support that we've gotten on recent videos. 85% of you watching these are not subscribed to the channel, but we hit my goal of 2,000, so I guess we're off to a new goal now. Let's get to 2,500 by next week. I think that's a doable goal. The way that you guys have been killing it with the support, I don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility here. But let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the video. And the Dallas Cowboys won the toss, and Mike McCarthy chose to receive. Okay, then. Then the Cowboys picked up 16 yards on 5 plays and handed it off to fullback Hunter Lipke on 3rd and 5 before punting. These are all just simply unwise decisions. Now, I don't know why Mike McCarthy decides to start with the ball anytime he has the choice, because it clearly doesn't work. And him wanting to set the tone for the rest of the ball game, it hasn't worked in weeks, Mike. Try something new. I know your defense isn't good, but maybe send them out on the field first. And that could also set you up for disaster, too. Nothing is going right with this Cowboys team right now. And Mike McCarthy is a big reason for that. And this is what he had to say after the game. We got to keep working. We did some things, but we got to stop the run and stay committed to the run for 4 quarters. Until we get that pattern working cohesively together, we're not playing to our strength. Your strength is not the run game. And it is definitely not stopping the run. But you have to give a little bit of a better effort in that regard. They were stacking the box yesterday. I thought they did okay defensively. But the offense, yet again, unable to establish the run because every single play is a draw. Every single play is a draw to a guy who has no explosiveness in Zeke Elliott, who I actually thought Zeke was fine yesterday. He was not bad, but 10 carries as your primary back, that's just not enough. So Dak Prescott needs to throw all the time. He's getting picked off. You have the most simple play calls. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's a huge part of complimentary football. We're losing the turnover ratio week in, week out, and we're not being able to stop the run and stay committed to the run for 4 quarters. That's how we have to play. That's how we're going to play. We need to be better at it. Now, I understand wanting to establish the run, but you waited until the last quarter to do that when you were down by 17 points to establish the run. That is not the time to break it out, Mike. You had 3 quarters of football before that to try to have long, extended drives. What are you doing? You're throwing the ball instead on 1st down. Mike McCarthy is a top 3 worst offensive play caller I have ever seen with my own eyes. And we were stuck with Jason Garrett for a long time. He is bad. Mike McCarthy is a god-awful play caller. Everything is so simple. There is no variety whatsoever. You look at all the best teams in the league. Guys are in motion. Guys are moving around. Jet sweeps. Cross routes. They are getting separation. You see bum receivers around the National Football League getting separation on their man. Why can't the Cowboys do that? They have athletic guys. CeeDee Lamb is the only one able to get separation. Now, I know he's ultra talented, and he's one of the best receivers in the game, but why is Jalen Tolbert not getting free? Why is Kevontae Turpin, a guy who has blazing speed, not able to get free and get open for Dak Prescott or make those tough catches in traffic? No one is able to create any separation, which is why all the throws are short. We're not seeing any sort of dynamic ability from this offense. It's all boring. It is all boring. Mike McCarthy has sucked the life out of this team with his schemes, and it's enough now. It's enough. This team is bad, okay? Jerry Jones did little to nothing to address that in the offseason. I totally understand that. But you got to make the most with what you have. And the offensive line hasn't been performing well. They're not protecting. Dak Prescott has been god-awful, if I'm being honest. I've been protecting him here. But at some point, you just need to play like an elite quarterback. And that's what this tweet from Marcus Mosher is saying. Way too many poor performances from him this season. And if we go down the line here, Femi Ababefe, sorry about that. Dak Prescott makes way too much money to consistently be this bad. Blame the O-line, blame McCarthy, blame the wide receivers, blame the running backs, whatever. Highest paid player in the league is supposed to elevate the rest of the guys. Can't keep making excuses for QB1. Figure it out. I've been making a lot of excuses for Dak Prescott. The line is terrible. The run game is non-existent. Teams know he's going to throw the football, but he is forcing it. And he is not scrambling out of the pocket. He looks slow. He looks a lot slower than he did last year, which is saying something. He has no threat of the run whatsoever. He's not able to scramble and pick up those yards. The Cowboys are one-dimensional, and they're not even great in that one dimension. It's CeeDee Lamb, it's Dak Prescott. That's all they got on the offensive side of the football. Jake Ferguson is good. I like him as a weapon, but he's not dynamic in the catching game like, let's say, George Kittle is. If we look on the other sideline, San Francisco 49ers tight end was running all over the team yesterday. And he's able to make those dynamic plays in space and pick up yards after the catch. Jake Ferguson, not so much. He's a stationary target. He is a guy who's got great hands, who is going to catch the football and be a consistent big target for you. He's not a big play guy. So, yeah, Jake Ferguson is a Pro Bowl level tight end, but he's not George Kittle. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not Trey McBride. He's not one of the top guys in the league. So there's levels to this. There is levels to this, and the Cowboys have now been outscored 61-19 in the third quarter this year, and you may be thinking, why am I showing you this? Well, that falls directly on the coaching staff, most specifically on Mike McCarthy. If you are getting outscored this badly in the third quarter, that means the other team is making adjustments at halftime, and you are not. You are sticking to the same game plan. You are getting read like a book by your opponents, and you're not changing anything. There is a lack of adjustment. There is a lack of fluidity in the playbook that Mike McCarthy uses every week. He can read that menu or that plastic sheet all he wants, but there's clearly not enough on there to distract your opponent or to play with your opponent's head. The Cowboys get outcoached every week. They don't get outplayed every week. A lot of the times they do. But what happens every single week is that they get outcoached. They get outcoached. Mike McCarthy is in over his head. The fans are calling for him to be fired. The fans are calling for Jerry to fire himself as the general manager of the team. None of this is going to happen because Jerry is gaslighting this fan base into thinking that the season is still on the rails. It's not. It's off the rails. The season is in total jeopardy right now. And yesterday's loss against a really banged up 49ers team, inexcusable. I know you're banged up in your own right. You're on the road. They've had a lot of success against you recently. It's not an easy matchup. I'm not saying that, but you got to give yourself a better chance to win that football game than you did yesterday. You kind of just rolled over after halftime, giving up 17 points unanswered in the third quarter. That cannot be happening. It can't. And the Cowboys failed. Yet again, they had a great opportunity yesterday. They failed to deliver on that chance that they had. And now here they are, sitting at 3-4. Mike McCarthy supposedly in hot water, but not really in hot water because Jerry is not going to do anything to change this team. But the fans are fed up. I'm fed up. I want some change. And I don't think we're going to get it this season. Hopefully the Cowboys can get a nice draft pick and do well at the draft and maybe kickstart this retool that they're going to be entering. But this was pathetic. Yesterday was another god-awful effort and another pitiful coaching performance from Mike Zimmer, from Mike McCarthy, from everyone involved on the Cowboys sideline. Even the special teams were terrible. Picking up a flag every single punt return, every single kick return. Nothing went right for them yesterday, and they still only managed to lose by 6 points. Which shows you maybe if things went a little bit better in the third quarter, we'd be talking about a W right now. Maybe if Mike McCarthy made some adjustments out of the halftime whistle, we'd also be talking about a W right now. But adjustments and the Dallas Cowboys, those things don't really mix together. They're like oil and water, and we don't really see it very often. But that'll wrap it up for this episode of Cowboys Digest. Guys, thanks for making it this far. I appreciate the support that we've gotten. I'm fed up, man. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to see Mike McCarthy gone? Do you want to see Jerry gone, even though we know it's not going to happen? Let me know down below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Go Cowboys.